Hello, good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Club. And it's Friday, we've reached the end of the week, and today our episode is going to be covering celebration, the excitement of the weekend of course. But first we're actually starting with something super insightful about the activity that we know brings you a lot of calmness, meditation.
That's right. So this weekend is World Meditation Day. We gave you a little teaser of that yesterday. So we thought, why not give you a quick kickstart to getting into the zone? What is meditation? Why should you do it? How does it really help? All of that covered on the program. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Let's get started. UN declares December 21st as World Meditation Day, global recognition for meditation. But how do you really find your focus? How do we master the art of stilling our mind? The art of being present in the moment. We bring you and decode that for you on the program today.
And right after that, after the scientific and the practical, we take you to the spiritual side of meditation. We sat down for an interview with Maitriya Dada Shriji of the Maitri Bodh organization in Maharashtra. We had a chat with him about meditation and how meditation actually lives very much in every activity we do. Meet the love incarnate right here on the show.
Also, since it's Friday, we've got all the entertainment stories for you. The week that was, all the drama, controversy, comebacks from Arjun's arrest to Sonakshi's slam. It has been a wild week for B-Town, and even down south, there will be a rap.
And after that, your weekend watch list. What can you do this weekend? So staying inside, going outdoors, and a collection of live events from across the country. We have it all for you here on the show.
Alright, so as we approach December 21st, the inaugural World Meditation Day, it is an ideal moment to reflect on the significance of this global observance. Now, recognized by the United Nations, this day underscores the importance of meditation in enhancing mental, emotional, physical well-being. India, a key proponent, remember, also the place where it all started, of this initiative, continues to lead in promoting holistic health practices worldwide.
Right. In anticipation of World Meditation Day, individuals and communities are already being encouraged to explore what meditation's benefits are. We all talk about the obvious: stress reduction, calming ourselves, reducing perhaps anxiety, also improve focus and emotional balance. But what more is going on there? What are the long-term benefits? What's happening to our brain? Engaging in meditation can foster a sense of inner peace. We all know that. It can contribute to a more harmonious global society. That's at least what Meditation Day is setting out to promote. As we prepare to observe this day, we would advise you to consider setting aside a little time this weekend to experience meditation. It will be difficult in the beginning, but over time, it may lead to huge benefits. To tell us a little bit more first about the science. So when we tell you need to meditate, what's actually happening in the brain? To break it down for us, we thought it would be really cool to bring on to the show Dr. Shweta Adatya. She's a specialist neurologist and a founder of the Limitless Brain Lab, and she's joining us live this morning from Dubai. Good morning, Doctor. Thank you for joining us here on the show. Doctor, if we could start off by asking you first, ये meditation है क्या चीज़? We talk about it, but is there academic consensus on what the word meditation actually means?
Right. So thank you very much for inviting me on this show. And I'm Dr. Shweta Adatya. I joke and I say I'm a brain plumber. I fix broken brains, but that's a very boring day job. What is very important is to understand how the brain functions and what can we do about it. Now, meditation, unfortunately, at this time, we don't have a consensus definition, which is actually very interesting, which means, it can be interpreted in multiple forms. So firstly, let me put that way that when I started my own journey, I thought meditation is one unproductive tasks. You just sit there and do nothing. So मेरे को लगता था कि ये बिल्कुल boring task है, इसमें कुछ नहीं रखा है. I used to travel with my spiritual teacher, and morning 5 o'clock there used to be this meditation class, and I would say, oh, I'm happy horizontally meditating. I'm just happy sleeping off, rather than sitting and doing the meditation. And many years passed by. I had a significant emotional trauma in my life. Upheaval happened. And then, it's like a phone a friend kind of a thing. Now I remember, oh, I need to go back and get to those early morning 5 a.m. meditation. So that's where my journey began. But since I was a neurologist, I thought, let's see what is going on in the brain. The very first time when my own brain was scanned, pre and post, just simply 5 minutes post meditation, there was a huge shift in a very simple wave called theta. So let me talk a little bit about the 4 fundamental brain waves. So as I'm talking to you and as you are listening, there is a strong wave called beta, which is the high functioning wave, which is active. The moment we close our eyes, there's something called alpha which comes in, which is a slow sinusoidal wave. The moment we get little deeper, just before we go to sleep, there is this theta. And as we go to sleep, there is delta. So what we saw, at least in my brain, what I saw, and it was completely mesmerizing, that there was a huge theta shift which happened. And theta happens right at the back of the brain here, allowing you to be calm, to be still, to be perfectly centered, as you were talking about prior, that you feel good, all the health benefits and everything starts to come with those brain changes. So when that happened, I said, wow, let's do a deep dive. We invited some 15 meditators, and that was a journey from then on.
Wow, that's quite something, and would love to sort of pick on more all different waves there. But Dr. Shweta, what has your research really shown is the effect of meditation on the brain? What exactly happens when you go in that shunya state of mind, as they say?
Absolutely. So when we invited these 15 meditators, these were significant meditators over a period of time. They had accumulated few thousands of hours of meditation. And then, of course, we also compared their brain waves with the non-meditators. So there were 3 fundamental things that we saw in these people. The number one thing was that they had a lot of this theta, which I just talked about, the slow theta wave, and they had a lot of gamma wave. Now, gamma is almost like a very fast super frequency, 30 to 100 hertz.
Showing it to our
very
audiences
good
there.
for overall brain. Yes, the one which was on the top out there, and then what you're seeing right now is the theta. Yes, the one at the top, 30 to 100 hertz, is the gamma wave. So gamma is like consolidating, it just coordinates all the brain functions. It's like one super brain wave to have. So we saw that they had a lot of gamma. We did see on the next slide, as you see, the red which is going across, which is the theta wave. There was a lot of extra theta, very, very important. Both sides of the brains worked harmoniously, which is extremely important. And the third very crucial and important finding was that they had a very quietened emotional system. Now, we often operate with a rational brain and an emotional brain. Most of the times, the stress, the issues that we face in life, even the sleep disturbances, everything comes from the hyper-functioning, over-functioning of this emotional system. All these people had this area which was quietened down. And one of the major outcomes of this is that you stop to ruminate. If I ask you right now what is going on in your mind, automatically something which happened yesterday would pop up, because that is how the brain processes, right? You may be thinking, oh, what did I do last evening or last morning? So that rumination for some people can be ongoing and leading to all the stress and problems. So in these meditators, we saw literally no rumination. So technically, they were present.
Wow.
They were right here, So that is what we found. And it was just amazing to see the changes happening fairly fast. So when I started my own journey, we did a serial scans, because obviously with the lab, I had the opportunity to do that. And it was just amazing to see how these changes then become physiological changes. They become permanent. So we do change our brains over a period of time.
Okay, doctor, that actually takes us then to our next question. Tell us, I know they've done studies, for example, on the brains of monks, but monks and the people you talked about a little earlier, these are long-term meditators, right? When it comes to those who are not long-term meditators, people who are starting the practice maybe 1 year, 2 year into the practice, if we wanted to give them a little motivation today to continue, what does your science say? A, how long does one need to meditate in a day to see the effects? B, how deep does that meditation need to be? So, do they need to feel the stillness for the entire 20 minutes? If their brain is moving, is that all right? Can you even measure that? And how many years in do they start seeing those changes happen?
Beautiful question. Thank you for asking that. Now, first of all, there are many types of meditation. There's transcendental meditation, there is anapanasati, there is breath meditation, there is mindfulness, there is tratak or focus. Now, it all depends on what you're choosing, and that's why we have come up with something called neuro meditation to understand what your mind needs. That is very, very important because some minds are overthinkers. There's somebody who needs to let go. So all this can be the outcomes which we can decide before starting the meditation. Now, the first time when people start meditation, it is going to be very difficult. All the to-do lists come in, all the things which you don't want to think sort of, bombard. It's like a mind flurry. There's like thoughts and thoughts and thoughts which come up. This is normal. This is for every single person who starts the meditation. So one should not be afraid by it. What I feel is all this sitting still and watching your mind and watching your breath and watching all the body functions, what is happening, etc. and all. It is all preparation to meditation. I often say you don't do meditation. Meditation must happen. So as you continue to do it, you sort of evolve, you progress. Once your brain changes, automatically what is right for you sort of emerges out. But very, very important, as people are starting out, to your question, give at least 5 minutes of eyes closed. I take a lot of workshops and seminars, and I ask people in your entire day, do a little bit of audit. Are you producing alpha? As I said before, alpha is only produced when you close your eyes, when you just sit closing your eyes. Now, people do answer me back saying that literally a minute or two, that's all that they close their eyes with all the phones and the gadgets and everything around. Now, if I want to build a biceps muscle here, I don't just look at the muscle and say, hey, build. I have to work towards it, So I have to work towards first building my alpha. So just sitting for 5 minutes, building that. And then I go ahead and take it a little further. So just to simplify the process, at our lab, we have created a very simple thing called movers. So M, of course, for meditation. O for oxygenation. Breathing is the very first fundamental before even entering meditation. Because proper breathing actually does a lot of benefits to the brain. It allows your mind to be calm. It's like mind is like a Ferrari. It's going at 150 kilometers of speed. And then you say, hey, stop, You can't even stop a car at that speed. It will skid. There will be accidents. So you really need to prepare. You need to decelerate. You really have to make sure that you bring it to the right thing. And that happens through breathing. So oxygenation, O. V is visualization. When you close your eyes, visualize. What is your future like? What needs to be learned? What needs to change? Very, very important to build those brain waves. E, exercise and grounding. I'm a huge fan of grounding. The best way, the moment you touch the earth, the moment you touch the ground, there is the shamanic frequency, 7 to 8 hertz, which is formed, which is exactly the alpha's frequency. So you don't have to really do anything. Just few minutes of bare walking on the foot, on the ground, barefoot is just that you require. R for reading something affirmative or positive. Now, the moment we wake up in the morning, look at the thing. We were in delta, deep, slow wave delta. And suddenly I take up my phone and there's this beta, 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 which is firing. So I'm completely disserving the brain, going from a slow rhythm to a very fast rhythm. So what I need to do is read for at least 5 minutes, something which is positive, something which is affirmative. And then negative thoughts obviously is part of the mind's process. It's negative, positive, that's how the mind operates. So write down anything which is negative and remove it. So 5 minutes each is what is recommended for the early initiators when you're starting out. And then of course, meditation is addictive. It's super it's intoxicating, Once you start doing it, all the chemicals come in, the natural chemistry, serotonin, dopamine, whatever you needed then starts to happen. And then you don't leave it, you just keep progressing. So that's the journey.
All right, Dr. Shweta, thank you so much. This has been a mind-boggling chat, as they say. And also want to know what is the process of signing up. Would love to know what chemical reactions are going on in our brains.
In our brains
as well.
Absolutely.
Would love to.
It's always good to see when you watch what is happening. You get that conviction that wow, if I can do this in 5 minutes, and if I continue doing this,
So
my
that was
emotional life
that was the whole
changes.
point of having you on the program, to sort of understand the science behind it. It's not a myth. It's not just something that monks who've sold their safaris and Ferraris, beg your pardon, do it. But this is for everybody, even for scientists. Thank you so much, Dr. Shweta, for joining us and bringing that perspective. If that was not enough to sort of give you an idea of how meditation impacts you, we thought we'll bring in someone who has gone through this journey himself. With us now is Vineet. Vineet, for everybody, used to be or is a chartered accountant, was practicing meditation for quite some time in his corporate job, but one day said that, listen, maybe I need to take it full time. So now you teach meditation to people, which is what is so exciting. But Vineet, the question that is that despite all the scientific evidence that is there in front of us, it is tough. And especially in the newsroom that you are in, especially the professionals that you're interacting with, we all have very, very restless minds. What are some tricks to calm these specifically minds which are always on the roll for people who are starting out saying, "Humse itna der nahi baitha jata"?
Right. Well, firstly, thanks for having me here. And I resonate, I've had a restless mind myself and still do sometimes. And one of the biggest challenges is, yes, consistency. And I would say it sounds like a cliche, like how do I be consistent? And one thing which helped me in my meditation journey very early on, and because I started and then I would fall back, and you meditate for 2 minutes and for 2 days and then you fall back again. And there was a quote which I read very early on in my journey on the spiritual path, which was by Paramhans Yogananda, and it said, environment is stronger than willpower. Now that is big because the environment where we sit in, like you said, we are in the newsroom right now. There are so many cameras, there's so many lights, there's
You don't
so
know,
many
but there's
things.
chaos.
Yeah, there's chaos. But if we can just find moments in life where we say, I'm going to set my environment in a way which brings calmness to me, which brings peace to me, and that would, especially in the beginning, for a beginner, get into a room where there are other meditators. Now with online, get into a place where there are other meditators. I'm sure everybody goes through the question in the beginning, am I even meditating correctly?
Yeah. Like what am I supposed to see? What am I supposed to visualize? Aren't those the questions that come to mind?
But then when we meditate in a group with other meditators who have perhaps meditated with us longer, then slowly confidence creeps in. Like, Dr. Shweta was talking about, you suddenly don't grow up your biceps.
Correct.
But then when you start, being with others, like if you have to become a musician, you have to practice the technique. So similarly with meditation, we have to be consistent. And a few other things which helps in consistency is focusing on quality rather than quantity in the beginning. If you have unrealistic expectations, oh, I'm going to meditate half an hour or 15 minutes, even that can seem too much for someone who's just starting out. But if we say, no, I'm going to focus on quality in the beginning, even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's 2 minutes, I'm going to do it, but consistently every day. And then a meditation becomes a point of enjoyment rather than, oh my God, now these are these benefits and I need to do meditation. These days meditation, even just hearing about meditation gives stress to people just because of
Sounds
the
like
expectation.
A lot of
I do want to tell our audiences though that every session of meditation doesn't have to lead to epiphanies. I think there's this association that you're going to feel so good, but everything I've read about this, everything I've experienced is that, sometimes you have inconsistent sessions. You walk away and you feel kind of like my brain was so active even 4 years into, doing the meditation. So we want to ask you next, how much do the other aspects of meditation, so what I mean when I say that is where you're sitting, how you're sitting, meditating experts say that if you are not getting the time, if you have a busy lifestyle, take out, the little time in the Uber coming over, just sit in the back of the car if you can. But I, at least in my experience, unfortunately have found that the quality of that meditation, gaadis going over a bump, isn't comparable. What is your own, thought on that?
I think a bad meditation is better than no meditation. So we have to get started somewhere. However, if we can also find even like, I'm sure we can find 2 minutes. We brush our teeth every day. Can we not find 2 minutes every day to just find a quiet place? And then whatever we do on an Uber or on an airplane or in a train or in a bus, that can be an add-on.
Sure.
And but yeah, somewhere we have to start. And then again, once we get started and when it's rolling, when the energy is rolling, you start liking meditation. Something which I heard again in the very beginning in my meditation journey was the more you meditate, the more you want to meditate.
Yeah.
And the less you do, the lesser and lesser you want to. So it's again very important that you start somewhere. And then again, coming to your point of sitting, try to sit every day at the same time. Like we feel hungry every day at the same time when we're used to eating. So start, meditating maybe at the
Set a
same time.
routine.
Set
Yeah.
a routine over there. It could be as soon as you wake up, instead of checking your phone, or maybe check your phone, and then after that, put it aside, read a quote on your phone, and then I'll take a moment to meditate.
Talking about taking a moment, we definitely want to take one on the program.
Yeah.
And do a bit of a teaser for ourselves and encouraging all our viewers to try it out with us as well. So should we try it?
Absolutely,
Is that
yeah.
something you can do on live TV?
I hope so, yeah. And before we start, why don't I request everybody, just wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just calm yourself, put your devices aside, let your multitasking go away. And we're going to just do 2 or 3 simple techniques. I'm going to read a quote from this book, Secrets of Meditation and Inner Peace, and we are going to do this technique. It's just a very short quote. It says, the secret of meditation is deep relaxation. Inhale, tense the body, throw the breath out and relax. Release into the surrounding atmosphere like wisps of vapor any lingering eddies of tension that you feel. We're going to do this. Just sit up straight and we'll inhale through our nose with a double breath. Exhale through our mouth. Once more. Exhale through the mouth twice. Now we'll add one more component. As we inhale, we'll tense the whole body. Tense the body, exhale and relax the body. Once more. Inhale and tense, exhale and relax. And let go of the breath. We'll do a very simple pranayama. We'll inhale to the count of 4, hold to the count of 4 and exhale. I'll take the count. You just focus on your breath. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. One last time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Now take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. And with this, we are letting go of the breath. What we are going to do is just very naturally breathe. Let the breath come in and go out of its own accord. Through your nostrils now, not through the mouth. Just for a minute, not for too long. Just enjoy every breath. You can feel your breath going in and out as waves on an ocean. Just observe the breath. Do not control the breath. Do not regulate the breath. And between an inhalation and exhalation, you may find little pauses. Enjoy those pauses. And if your mind wanders, and if you catch yourself, congratulate yourself, you've caught your wandering mind. Awareness precedes control. Now that we know that the mind was wandering, we can gently bring it back. Just for 10 more seconds, just focus on your breath, going in and out. Now bringing your awareness back to your daily life, back to your body, and taking this peace in your daily life. Take a deep breath in Exhale. And when you feel ready, just gently open your eyes. And that is something which you can do every day. Just a minute, 2
I don't want to
minutes.
open my eyes. I want to stay.
Wonderful, yeah.
I want to stay like that. Oh my God, Vineet, thank you so much. This was really calming. I'm not sure if we were there in the meditative state of mind. Thoughts were still sort of running in. But I guess practice is what is required. Thank you so much for giving us and our audiences a glimpse.
A little bit of a breather.
Yeah, a little bit of a breather.
Your
and we
voice
hope-
is so gentle, if I could
Is
just
it?
say. Yeah,
Is
it was like music.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was really enjoying it. And I guess the whole point of this program was also that, to give you backed by science. This is not just something that people do, it's backed by science. It actually changes waves in your brains as well. So that is quite a glimpse as well. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, got to deep breathe a little bit before we move on to the next one. But we're not done telling you all about meditation and its various practices just yet. What we have for you next is a story where it's coming all the way from Maharashtra. We've explored the scientific, practical facets of meditation. Now let's take you to Maharashtra and see and look at meditation from a spiritual lens as well. Toya traveled all the way to get you this report.
We're in the midst of the rolling mountains of Karjat. It's a little bit chilly here, but we've brought you here to visit the Maitri Bodh ashram. The ashram itself is a little bit more than a decade old. You can hear the roosters crowing in the background. We sat down with the founder of the ashram, Maitri Dada Shriji, to understand a little bit more about the guiding philosophy that's inspired thousands of people in India and internationally too. The philosophy itself is one world, one family, and one truth. But what is that truth? To understand a little bit more, we sat down. Take a look. Maitri Dada Shriji, thank you so much for having us, the whole Breakfast Club team here in Maitri Bodh, to just witness this energy in person. If we could ask you our first question. Dada Shriji, the world we live in today, where we all have phones, where we have continuous algorithms scrolling, you have headlines, you have the constant screech of the news. It almost feels like a very pessimistic world. There's climate change taking place, global warming taking place. And for the younger generation, it sometimes feels as if we're hurtling towards an inevitable darkness. That's a bit of a dark note, but I do want to ask you, where do you derive your optimism and where do you suggest we derive our optimism, our hope in the day-to-day?
So namaste first of all, and thank you so much for being here. So, how one looks at it. You have mobile device with you. People are watching us now on the TV also. But what are they deriving from this? There are hundreds of people, thousands of people watching this interaction now. It depends on how your mind is or how you perceive things. You are saying that world is out there full of darkness, people watching OTT platform, serials or binge watching. And at the end, it's all about being, pessimistic or violent or being angry at someone. So this is one way of looking at it. The same way when I'm looking at it, it's full of optimism, full of positivity. Basically, your state of mind. If you change your state of mind, things will change automatically.
For you, is meditation the way to get there? And if I ask you that because, we were talking about coming here and there was a lot of excitement about asking you, how does one meditate?
Yeah.
What does that even look like?
Yeah.
How does one know one is doing it right? What would you say to someone asking
See,
all those questions?
very good question, because, since we are interacting, there are people, those who are listening to it. Concentration, if you look at concentration, means you're, concentrating at a point or an image. This is an active task, that you're actively doing something. So meditation is being passive. You are not doing anything. Ideally, you should not do anything meditation. You should just wait. Just wait.
But when they tell us, watch your breath happen, for example,
Yeah,
that's active.
this is concentration again.
Yeah.
So just watch your breath, watch your breath. So you're concentrating on your breath, or chanting mantra, again chanting mantra, Om, Chakra Dhyan. This is again concentrating on that mantra. Meditation is that you just chant Om and allow that Om to work on you. Let it happen. You just flow. Now, taking this example of voice, we could hear something whispering, but we couldn't sense it completely what's happening, because too many thoughts and too many stories within your head. But then what you have to do is just leave it. Just relax yourself. Let that voice come to you. You can't create that voice. Mentally, you can't make it that this is how God speaks. This is how heart speaks. For that, your creative effort should stop. Or, different ways of how do I create that voice. Because if you create it, that means it is part of the mind. Let it come to you. First day, it may not come. Second day, it may not come. Third day, 1 week. But you are in that constant effort of waiting for that grace to come or that voice to arrive within you. Let it continue for 1 month, 2 months. But when the day it happens, then you are free. Then you are free.
So I want to ask you then, Dadashi, your last almost words of advice to those who are saying, because you're saying let it flow. You're saying let it come to you. And I must tell you, it's quite frustrating to hear.
Yeah.
Because many of us are trying. We're taking out the time. We have our apps that allow us to meditate fixed amount of time. The bell goes off, your meditation is over. It's exactly the opposite of what you're discussing right now.
Yeah.
If people watching right now at home were to take away anything from you and from this conversation and from all of the ideas we discussed, and it's an actionable thing. If I were to ask you, how does one enter that state of flow?
Meditation wise, if people really want to derive the best out of it and flow with it, as you just rightly said, your inhibition, first resistance, people don't want to go through that frustration, that in being impatient, humko jaldi chahiye, quick results. So for spiritual world, quick results will never work. There is no crash course for this, that you join and then within few days it will happen. But what we do here, we help you to connect with your inner source, inner power. It's like a light. Basically, you are stuck in a dark room. Windows, doors are closed, and no ray from anywhere, no light absolutely. And you're sitting there and crying for something, that you wanted to have a new mobile device and you don't have that, and you're crying for it. And you have closed your eyes, dark room, closed your eyes. Even if you open your eyes, you are not going to say anything. You're crying from a mobile device. Now, how does one come out of it? The best way here is that one should come and give you light. Any lamp or torch, that someone should come and give it to you. Now, giving is divine intervention. This is where we come into. We give you that light wherein you have this help, and now you can look for what you want with that torch. And once you switch on that light, then you will realize that I had that source since long. That switchboard was there inside my room. And whatever I was asking, I already had it with me. So what is, people are in that state of illusion. They have it, but they are not realizing it, and they're crying for no reason. So when you said frustration, impatience, what do I do? This is the state that you are in the dark room, you have closed your eyes, unnecessarily crying for it. Just relax, have that light, use it, reach to that switchboard, switch it on, and then your house will be lit fully.
So you're not in any way saying, and I know you're not saying, that everyone has to come to Maitri Bodh to discover this.
Definitely not.
Right?
No, certainly not.
So then you're saying that inside that room, or rather metaphorically, they need to realize that they have the switchboard they need inside themselves.
See, this light will come from anywhere. So to realize also, first they need to have that light, that source, somewhere. From universe or anywhere they travel.
So in the process of meditation, for example,
Uh-huh.
what does that look like?
See, it's a feeling, very strong feeling. This feeling you will never doubt. People might see visions also, but more than visions, what is more powerful is that emotion, that feeling. Feeling will transform you, not visions. People see colors and this and that, astral travel. These are just entertainment, for people. Those who are into spiritual world, they enjoy these visions a lot. But these visions are not transforming you, not changing you. Emotions and feelings will. So when you realize this internally, that I have that power within me, when you realize it fully, then you actually work with that power. You work with that power, work with that confidence, with clarity. There is no confusion after that. Because then you become you. You actually become you. Now you're not. Now, whatever you are, created by people around you. You could have done this. You could have done that. You should have been here. Where are you now? People created around you, but who are you basically? And it is not very difficult. People made it very difficult, that it is difficult to realize who you are. It is very simple. Just relax and connect with the source. Frustration is there. That means your mind is trying to reach somewhere, struggling to, desperate. This will again cause suffering. When you mentally struggle, then you suffer. The struggling should stop. You should be relaxed and happy. That's what this transformation is about. Being free, being natural. You don't have to do meditation for the sake of doing it, because when you do it, only then you will reach. It's not going to happen like that. Your father will never tell you that if you do this, only then I will love you. His love is unconditional. That love will remain as it is. When he tells you to do this, do that, it is for your growth, for your betterment. But love will never be compromised. Love will remain as it is. So meditation, if you want to do, you do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Love will come. What is more powerful is love from the Father, from the Divine. That love will give you power to do anything in life.
I'm smiling so wide because it's such a beautiful message.
Yeah.
It's been beautiful speaking to you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dadashiji, for taking out the time, for welcoming us and our entire team here onto Maitri Bodh to feel some of the magic here. Just speaking to you also has been an honor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes. Namaste.
Baba.
This is the Makar Dwar of the parliament behind me, where a complete ruckus was witnessed early today morning, when Congress and BJP MPs virtually came face to face. I'll now explain to you what exactly happened. So here in this particular compound, you see the inside enclosure where the security keeps us outside the media, and this is the enclosure from where the MPs enter inside and go inside the Makar Dwar. This is the main entry for MPs to go inside the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. What happened today was that there were over 100 MPs who had completely filled up this enclosure. These were the BJP MPs who were protesting, asking for the Congress to apologize for the insults that the Congress has purportedly made to Bhimrao Ambedkar all over the years. This protest was on for almost 15-20 minutes. I actually spoke to Anurag Thakur, who was standing here. I even saw Mr. Pratap Sarangi, in fact, standing here and giving media bites. All was well till then. About 100-150 MPs, I say, of the BJP were standing here with placards in their hands and protesting against the Congress party. What happened after that is that from behind me, from there came the Congress delegation. Now, Congress was there at Bhimrao Ambedkar statue, which is behind this old parliament building. As you can see, Priyanka Gandhi was marching along with the Congress MPs and was walking from there with the Congress and India grouping MPs. When they came here, India grouping MPs, they actually entered from this particular barricade. They entered from this barricade, the Congress MPs, and came into a face-to-face confrontation with the BJP MPs who were already parked here. So what we saw is where this point right now, where you can see a few MPs standing. This is where the Congress MPs and the BJP MPs came face-to-face. The CISF could not build a perimeter between them because CISF doesn't really want to touch any MP. But almost for 10-15 minutes, there was a complete shouting, slanging match. They were sloganeering against each other, standing face to face, showing their banners. Congress MPs had Mr. Ambedkar's posters in them. They were shouting, Jai Bhim, Jai Bhim. The BJP MPs were saying, Congress, Maafi Mango. And this continued for at least 15 minutes before the Congress MPs, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi, both sat down exactly at this point. And the BJP MPs were in front of them. They sat down and the protest continued. Some of the Congress MPs in fact stormed through this particular area, through the BJP MPs, and went and stood on top of those boundary walls of the Makar Dwar as well. You can see those visuals where at least 20-25 Congress MPs stood on the boundary wall. One even climbed on top of that statue, which you can see. One of the women MPs I saw of the opposition stood up there as well. Now, in the middle of all this melee, what has happened is that there has been some jostling because the Congress MPs after that wanted to get inside. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi wanted to take this route and go inside the parliament, and the BJP's MPs were in front of them. This is where it seems Pratap Sarangi has got injured, as well as Mr. Rajput, two BJP MPs who've been rushed to hospital. In the pushing and jostling, they both got injured, and that is what the BJP's claim is, that Rahul Gandhi was actually trying to push through and pushing MPs, and that is how Mr. Sarangi has got injured. The India grouping MPs are in fact saying they were not pushing anybody, they were just trying to get inside parliament through the Makar Dwar, and they are saying that the BJP MPs were actually blocking their path and they were not letting them go inside, and that was unparliamentary, undemocratic. Both sides have their accusations, but now what we are hearing is that there could be an FIR against Rahul Gandhi. BJP wants to lodge an FIR against him for injuring Pratap Sarangi, and there was this video which has gone viral since then of Pratap Sarangi sitting on a wheelchair near that Makar Dwar, and Rahul Gandhi going to him and inquiring what really happened, and Nishikant Dubey, the BJP MP, saying sharam karo Rahul Gandhi, and Rahul Gandhi saying मैंने इनको नहीं मारा, इन्होंने मुझे धक्का दिया. So it's a game of allegations and
Welcome back to the Breakfast Club. We both are so relaxed from all the meditation we've done, but we're going to keep telling you what's on the show. Next, we are taking you to the world of food. From meditation to the world of khana, and we're celebrating India's rich culinary heritage and cultural diversity. Both were celebrated in the Flavors of India conclave. This was held right here in New Delhi, and the event brought together key figures from the food industry, politics and culture, recognizing the contribution of restaurateurs to India's gastronomic legacy.
Now, the evening also featured soulful performance by folk music icon Malini Avasthi, highlighting diverse flavors and sounds of India. Organizers emphasize that the importance of such events is uplifting the nation through traditions of food, music and art. Here's a glimpse. All right, with that, we're going to slip into yet another very quick break. We're back with TGIF on the other side.
Baba.
This is the Makar Dwar of the parliament behind me, where a complete ruckus was witnessed early today morning, when Congress and BJP MPs virtually came face to face. I'll now explain to you what exactly happened. So here in this particular compound, you see the inside enclosure where the security keeps us outside the media, and this is the enclosure from where the MPs enter inside and go inside the Makar Dwar. This is the main entry for MPs to go inside the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. What happened today was that there were over 100 MPs who had completely filled up this enclosure. These were the BJP MPs who were protesting, asking for the Congress to apologize for the insults that the Congress has purportedly made to Bhimrao Ambedkar all over the years. This protest was on for almost 15-20 minutes. I actually spoke to Anurag Thakur, who was standing here. I even saw Mr. Pratap Sarangi in fact standing here and giving media bites. All was well till then. About 100-150 MPs, I say, of the BJP were standing here with placards in their hands and protesting against the Congress party. What happened after that is that from behind me, from there came the Congress delegation. Now, Congress was there at Bhimrao Ambedkar statue, which is behind this old parliament building. As you can see, Priyanka Gandhi was marching along with the Congress MPs and was walking from there with the Congress and India grouping MPs. When they came here, India grouping MPs, they actually entered from this particular barricade. They entered from this barricade, the Congress MPs, and came into a face-to-face confrontation with the BJP MPs who were already parked here. So what we saw is where this point right now, where you can see a few MPs standing. This is where the Congress MPs and the BJP MPs came face to face. The CISF could not build a perimeter between them because CISF doesn't really want to touch any MP. but almost for 10-15 minutes, there was a complete shouting, slanging match. They were sloganeering against each other, standing face to face, showing their banners. Congress MPs had Mr. Ambedkar's posters in them. They were shouting, Jai Bhim, Jai Bhim. The BJP MPs were saying, Congress, Maafi Mango. And this continued for at least 15 minutes before the Congress MPs, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi, both sat down exactly at this point, and the BJP MPs were in front of them. They sat down and the protest continued. Some of the Congress MPs, in fact, stormed through this particular area, through the BJP MPs, and went and stood on top of those boundary walls of the Makar Dwar as well. You can see those visuals where at least 20-25 Congress MPs stood on the boundary wall. One even climbed on top of that statue, which you can see. One of the women MPs I saw of the opposition stood up there as well. Now, in the middle of all this melee, what has happened is that there has been some jostling because the Congress MPs after that wanted to get inside. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi wanted to take this route and go inside the parliament, and the BJP's MPs were in front of them. This is where it seems Pratap Sarangi has got injured, as well as Mr. Rajput, two BJP MPs who've been rushed to hospital. In the pushing and jostling, they both got injured, and that is what the BJP's claim is, that Rahul Gandhi was actually trying to push through and pushing MPs, and that is how Mr. Sarangi has got injured. The India grouping MPs are in fact saying they were not pushing anybody, they were just trying to get inside parliament through the Makar Dwar, and they are saying that the BJP MPs were actually blocking their path and they were not letting them go inside, and that was unparliamentary, undemocratic. Both sides have their accusations, but now what we are hearing is that there could be an FIR against Rahul Gandhi. BJP wants to lodge an FIR against him for injuring Pratap Sarangi, and there was this video which has gone viral since then of Pratap Sarangi sitting on a wheelchair near that Makar Dwar, and Rahul Gandhi going to him and inquiring what really happened, and Nishikant Dubey, the BJP MP, saying Sharam karo Rahul Gandhi, and Rahul Gandhi saying मैंने इनको नहीं मारा, इन्होंने मुझे धक्का दिया. So it's a game of allegations and counter allegations. The Congress says Mallikarjun Kharge, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi were pushed by BJP MPs. BJP MPs are saying Mr. Sarangi and Mr. Rajput, their two MPs who are in hospital, were actually pushed by Rahul Gandhi and Congress MPs. I think this is not going to end here. We have CCTV footages. You have seen these big CCTVs atop the old parliament building which face the Makar Dwar, and maybe the truth actually lies in these CCTV footages when they will be analysed by the CISF, and we'll know for sure that what had really happened when at that time, this whole thing happened. And you can still see some of the BJP MPs and some of the opposition MPs, and this is a matter of hot discussion now in parliament, exactly what happened in the morning, and we'll know maybe the truth in a day or two when these CCTV images are accessed. But right now the BJP is very, very aggressive. It wants to lodge an FIR against Rahul Gandhi. Senior MPs of the BJP have gone and met.
All right, it's that time of the week where we bring you TGIF, kickstarting the weekend. Here's everything that will make it unforgettable.
The latest Marvel madness, The Lion King and much more. Kohina Sharma gets you the slowdown. Take a look.
Hello and happy Friday. It's finally the weekend and we are here to give you the lowdown on what to binge and where you can head to have an incredible weekend. First up, if you don't want to leave home at all and what's new on streaming, let's find out. Well, if you've ever danced to Brown Rung or yelled Yo-Yo Honey Singer at a party, Netflix has Famous, a documentary that delves into his rise, his dramatic fall and his mic drop return to music. Next, Potterheads, Let's Reunite, Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore is now streaming on Geo Cinema. Jude Law as Dumbledore, Mads Mikkelsen as Grindelwald and an epic battle for the magical world. Grab the butterbeer and your makeshift wands because this promises to be spellbinding. But if you're not a Hogwarts student and you prefer the Marvel Multiverse chaos, Marvel's iconic animated series, What If is seeing its season 3 dropping on Disney Plus Hotstar. Alternate realities, mind-bending twists, and our favorite heroes like Hulk and Captain America are actually making choices that rewrite everything here. But what if you want to watch a tricky, homegrown mystery instead? Well, Satyajit Ray's much beloved detective Feluda comes back on Hoi Choi. And this time Feluda is solving a tangled murder in the snowy valleys of Kashmir in Feludar Govindagiri, Bhushvargo Bhoyonkor. But But if streaming is too chill and the weekend feels like it's finally time to step out, what can we catch on the big screen? Let's find out. For a family outing, Mufasa, The Lion King rose into theatres this week. Disney brings us Mufasa's origin story, and Beyonce's daughter, Blue Ivy, joins the pride this time for a key role. But if that's not your vibe and you want something more emotional, Nana Patekar stars in Vanvas. It's a heartfelt drama about the dynamics between an elderly father grappling with dementia and his whole family. Anil Sharma knows how to tug at the heartstrings, and this one's a tearjerker. Well, if live events are more your thing, here is the lowdown. In Delhi, you can kickstart your way to a groovy weekend by catching Peter Cat Recordings Company or Art Bag. In Mumbai, India's biggest weekend for children returns as Kukru Fest brings art, theatre, literature and performances for the young ones. And in Bengaluru, you are spoiled for choice because there's Shan Live in concert, and the Bengaluru International Center brings Carnatic classical alive with confluence of emotions. This is Kuhina Sharma reminding you that weekends are precious. Spend them right. I'll see you next Friday. Until then, stay sassy and keep watching The Breakfast Club Show.
All right, so that was Kohina with a download of what you can do this week. But what have you missed? Well, all the Bollywood gossip over there. Allu Arjun's sudden arrest, tributes pouring in after him passing off Zakir Hussain. So much happened really this weekend.
Right, we've got the latest updates for you. Here's the entertainment lowdown by Shosha Stidas. Take a look.
Hello there. Let's take a quick look at what happened this week on the entertainment front. Allu Arjun has been granted interim bail for 4 weeks on a personal bond of Rs 50,000. He was arrested in a case related to the death of a woman at a theatre in Hyderabad during the screening of Pushpa 2 earlier this month. He was sent to a 14-day judicial custody and had to spend a night in jail. Soon after he returned home, Chiranjeevi, Rana Daggubati, Nag Chaitanya paid him a visit. His arrest also met with strong reactions from Rashmika Mandanna, Sri Leela, Nani and Kangana Ranaut. However, in a big development, we have now learned that the Telangana police officials are likely to move to the Supreme Court next. Sonakshi Sinha slammed Mukesh Khanna through an Instagram post after his viral remarks about her upbringing. He had commented on an old Kaun Banega Crorepati episode in which Sonakshi failed to answer a question about Lord Hanuman. He blamed her father, Shatrughan Sinha, for not imparting her cultural knowledge. Sonakshi clarified that it's human tendency to blank out, stated that he should forgive her harmless slip-up, and warned him to stop bringing up the incident for attention. A clip from the Great Indian Couple Show featuring an exchange between Kapil Sharma and Atlee, who joined the team of Baby John to promote the film, received massive backlash from many. Netizens felt Kapil took a dig at Atlee's appearance and complexion. While the latter came up with a classy reply stating that appearance doesn't matter, his fans called out the actor-comedian for being insensitive. When it blew out of proportion, Kapil took to X and denied insulting Atlee, urging people to watch the interaction and judge for themselves and not spread hate. Tabla maestro and 4-time Grammy Award winner Zakir Hussain passed away on December 15th in the US following complications arising out of idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. He was 73 years old. He was hospitalized for 2 weeks in San Francisco. However, confusion emerged after his nephew took to X and clarified that he's still alive. Before his family finally confirmed the news of his death, Hussein's sister also denied the story. But soon tributes began pouring in from politicians, musicians and actors. PM Narendra Modi also condoled the demise, referring to him as a true genius. Brad Pitt made his stance rather clear that a reunion with ex-wife Angelina Jolie is simply off the table. They were approached for a big-budget, steamy romantic film from producer Danny Rosner, but it seems like no amount of money can bring them together, even on the big screen. For the unversed, Angelina filed for divorce in 2016 following a dramatic altercation on their private jet. The former power couple is currently embroiled in a bitter divorce and a custody battle over their children and a legal dispute over their French vineyard. Amid all this, Angelina stated that she has been dealing with solitude and loneliness. Well, that's all for this week. See you very soon.
All right, on that note, it's a goodbye for us. Have a good weekend, have a meditative weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Goodbye. See you.
This is the Makar Dwar of the parliament behind me, where a complete ruckus was witnessed early today morning, when Congress and BJP MPs virtually came face to face. I'll now explain to you what exactly happened. So here in this particular compound, you see the inside enclosure where the security keeps us outside the media, and this is the enclosure from where the MPs enter inside and go inside the Makar Dwar. This is the main entry for MPs to go inside the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. What happened today was that there were over 100 MPs who had completely filled up this enclosure. These were the BJP MPs who were protesting, asking for the Congress to apologize for the insults that the Congress has purportedly made to Bhimrao Ambedkar all over the years. This protest was on for almost 15-20 minutes. I actually spoke to Anurag Thakur, who was standing here. I even saw Mr. Pratap Sarangi in fact standing here and giving media bites. All was well till then. About 100-150 MPs, I say, of the BJP were standing here with placards in their hands and protesting against the Congress party. What happened after that is that from behind me, from there came the Congress delegation. Now Congress was there at Bhimrao Ambedkar statue, which is behind this old parliament building. As you can see, Priyanka Gandhi was marching along with the Congress MPs and was walking from there with the Congress and India grouping MPs. When they came here, India grouping MPs, they actually entered from this particular barricade. They entered from this barricade, the Congress MPs, and came into a face-to-face confrontation with the BJP MPs who were already parked here. So what we saw is where this point right now, where you can see a few MPs standing. This is where the Congress MPs and the BJP MPs came face to face. The CISF could not build a perimeter between them because CISF doesn't really want to touch any MP. But almost for 10-15 minutes, there was a complete shouting, slanging match. They were sloganeering against each other, standing face to face, showing their banners. Congress MPs had Mr. Ambedkar's posters in them. They were shouting Jai Bhim, Jai Bhim. The BJP MPs were saying Congress, Maafi Mango. And this continued for at least 15 minutes before the Congress MPs, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi, both sat down exactly at this point. And the BJP MPs were in front of them. They sat down and the protest continued. Some of the Congress MPs, in fact, stormed through this particular area, through the BJP MPs, and went and stood on top of those boundary walls of the Makar Dwar as well. You can see those visuals where at least 20-25 Congress MPs stood on the boundary wall. One even climbed on top of that statue, which you can see. One of the women MPs I saw of the opposition stood up there as well. Now, in the middle of all this melee, what has happened is that there has been some jostling because the Congress MPs after that wanted to get inside. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi wanted to take this route and go inside the parliament, and the BJP's MPs were in front of them. This is where it seems Pratap Sarangi has got injured, as well as Mr. Rajput, two BJP MPs who've been rushed to hospital. In the pushing and jostling, they both got injured, and that is what the BJP's claim is, that Rahul Gandhi was actually trying to push through and pushing MPs, and that is how Mr. Sarangi has got injured. The India grouping MPs are in fact saying they were not pushing anybody, they were just trying to get inside parliament through the Makar Dwar, and they are saying that the BJP MPs were actually blocking their path and they were not letting them go inside, and that was unparliamentary, undemocratic. Both sides have their accusations, but now what we are hearing is that there could be an FIR against Rahul Gandhi. BJP wants to lodge an FIR against him for injuring Pratap Sarangi, and there was this video which has gone viral since then of Pratap Sarangi sitting on a wheelchair near that Makar Dwar, and Rahul Gandhi going to him and inquiring what really happened, and Nishikant Dubey, the BJP MP, saying Sharam karo Rahul Gandhi, and Rahul Gandhi saying maine inko nahi mara, inhone mujhe dhakka diya. So it's a game of allegations and counter allegations. The Congress says they were, Mallikarjun Kharge, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi were pushed by BJP MPs. BJP MPs are saying Mr. Sarangi and Mr. Rajput, their two MPs who are in hospital, were actually pushed by Rahul Gandhi and Congress MPs. I think this is not going to end here. We have CCTV footages. You have seen these big CCTVs atop the old parliament building which face the Makar Dwar, and maybe the truth actually lies in these CCTV footages when they will be analysed by the CISF, and we'll know for sure that what had really happened when at that time, this whole thing happened, and you can still see some of the BJP MPs and some of the opposition MPs, and this is a matter of hot discussion now in Parliament exactly what happened in the morning, and we'll know maybe the truth in a day or two when these CCTV images are accessed. But right now the BJP is very, very aggressive. It wants to lodge an FIR against Rahul Gandhi. Senior MPs of the BJP have gone and met these two injured BJP MPs in hospital. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called up both Mr. Sarangi and Mr. Rajput to inquire about their health after what happened earlier today morning. Makar Dwar becoming virtually like an akhada at the Parliament building today morning. This is the Makar Dwar.
Good morning, viewers. Hello and welcome to the Morning News Show, where we bring you the latest headlines and insightful stories to kickstart your day. I'm Koina Sharma and you are watching CNN News 18. First up on top of this bulletin, we're starting the bulletin with Sansad Showdown. Now, daggers are drawn between BJP and Congress as the Parliament saw a clash never seen before. A heated confrontation between BJP and Congress over alleged physical altercation escalated, with both the sides filing police complaints, accusing each other of assault and misconduct. Now, Delhi police has now registered an FIR against Rahul Gandhi. BJP MP Anurag Thakur and Bansuri Swaraj also filed a complaint against him. Now, Congress on its part has also approached the police, filing a counter FIR. Injured BJP MPs are still in hospital and are recovering from their injuries. Amid this entire showdown, Congress versus BJP showdown, Lok Sabha Speaker has now issued strict instructions that no member or members, group of members or political parties and members shall hold demonstrations at any of the building gates of Parliament House. Well, joining us on the broadcast is our senior colleagues Pallavi and Payal. A very good morning to both of you. Well, Payal, how does the BJP plan to escalate this issue if Congress does not respond with an apology anytime soon?
The BJP, in fact, Kohina today will be holding a dharna or a demonstration at the Prerna Sthal. Remember the same place, where all the portraits, whether it's Mahatma Gandhi or all the statues have been kept together in one area. That's where the BJP is planning to hold its protest, because the speaker has issued very strict directions saying that nobody will protest outside Makar Dwar. Remember, it was chaotic scenes yesterday which were witnessed in Parliament, and afterwards the BJP actually wants to up the ante against the Congress party, and in fact tell them that they're not bowing down or coming down by any standard, and they want to actually seek response from the Congress party in terms of what really happened. Remember, you saw the scenes yesterday when Nishikant Dubey and the TDP MP Sharbari were in fact, hammer and tongs against Rahul Gandhi, in fact calling him shameless, and said that you have no shame, you pushed an old man. Of course, he was referring to Pratap Sarangi, but ugly scenes were witnessed, never seen in the Parliament history in a long time, that we saw really, and the BJP is in no mood to bow down or cow down as far as the Congress party and their attack on Amit Shah, which they feel is a baseless allegation that is being levied against him.
Right, Payal, I had request you to stay with us on broadcast as we'll get Pallavi also on the broadcast to give her insights on this entire situation. A very good morning, Pallavi. Pallavi, Congress has dismissed BJP's all the claims and as diversionary tactics, asserting that BJP is actually responsible for the entire confrontation that unfolded. But how does the Congress actually justify its version of events against BJP's allegations?
Well, there was a late evening meeting yesterday, and while they were also discussing the CWC meeting to be held later in Karnataka, but the word which came out of the meeting is that as far as all these FIRs and protests and allegations against Rahul Gandhi is concerned, they're dismissing it off as a diversionary tactic. They said the core issue is the resignation of the Home Minister. He should resign, and because the Congress party knows that the BJP and the Prime Minister are shielding him, that's the reason why, these kind of allegations are being made. In fact, that FIR of Rahul Gandhi against Rahul Gandhi, we heard what KC Venugopal also had to say, that this is going to be a badge of honor. In fact, in a little while later, just to pick up from where Payal left it from, while the BJP is going to do it inside the Parliament, you're going to see the India Bloc MP is going to be right over here at the Vijay Chowk, where I'm standing. From here, They are going to march inside to the parliament, and they are going to try and make their point that this government will have to apologize on the Ambedkar issue. But more than that, the Home Minister should also be asked to step down. Multiple notices have already been given since morning. Randeep Surjewala, Manikam Tagore, they want all issues to be adjourned. They want this to be taken up on a priority, and also answer as to why should the HM not step down. So those protests are going to be essentially about this, very clearly in the backdrop of that FIR against Rahul Gandhi.
Right, Pallavi, thank you so much for bringing in all those details. Well, the BJP and Congress have accused each other of undermining the parliamentary dignity, turning this entire incident into a flashpoint for political posturing. But let's take you through the altercation that actually took place between the BJP MPs and Rahul Gandhi.
क्या राहुल क्या शर्म नहीं आती है? क्या शर्म नहीं आती है? गुंडा करते हो, बूढ़े को गिरा दिया जाता है। इतना कौन सा? इतना कौन सा? गुंडा करते हो। क्या राहुल क्या शर्म नहीं आती है? क्या शर्म नहीं आती है? गुंडा करते हो, बूढ़े को गिरा दिया जाता है। इतना कौन सा? इतना कौन सा? गुंडा करते हो।
आपको किसने धक्का मारा? राहुल गांधी ने। राहुल गांधी ने धक्का मारा। राहुल गांधी कौन सी जगह पे सर? सर किस जगह पे? सर किस जगह पे? किस जगह पे? सीढ़ी के ऊपर में। आप लोग पीछे। और राहुल गांधी ने आकर के एक एमपी को धक्का लगाया, वो मेरे ऊपर गिर पड़ा और मैं। कहाँ चोट लगी सर आपको? कहाँ चोट लगी? आंखों को दिखा दीजिए। ओह एलिजिबल टू क्लेम।
आपके कैमरा में होगा। ये पार्लियामेंट की एंट्रेंस है, इसमें मैं अंदर जाने की कोशिश कर रहा था, तो बीजेपी के एमपी जो थे वो मुझे ऐसे रोकने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, धकेल रहे थे और मुझे धमका रहे थे, तो वो हुआ है बस। नहीं देखिए हाँ किया है मगर ठीक है कोई मतलब धक्का मुक्की से हमें कुछ होता नहीं है।
प्रणाम सर, मुकेश राज।
नमस्ते, कैसी है अभी तबीयत?
सर ठीक है, अभी भी चक्कर सा आ रहा है, घबराहट सी हो रही है सर।
नहीं, पूरी केयर करना, जल्दी बिल्कुल मत करना और सारी ट्रीटमेंट लेना।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है सर, प्रणाम सर।
Well, amid all of this ugly showdown, a BJP MP has also accused Rahul Gandhi of coming close to her and making her feel uncomfortable. She's also filed a complaint with Rajya Sabha chairman. Let's take a look at more details on this.
हम लोग पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट कर रहा था, तो लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन श्री राहुल गांधी जी बहुत क्लोज प्रॉक्सिमिटी में आके आई ऑल्सो डिड नॉट फील कंफर्टेबल, अच्छा नहीं लगा। फिर वो ही स्टार्टेड शाउटिंग, तो इसे आज जो हुआ है बहुत दिल दुख हुआ है, अच्छा नहीं लगा। आगे आगे ऐसे थ्रेटन करना वो अच्छा नहीं लगा।
आज जो कुछ संसद में हुआ उसकी कल्पना भी नहीं की जा सकती। अशालीन, अशोभनीय, उदंड और गुंडागर्दी से भरा व्यवहार जिसकी सभ्य समाज कल्पना नहीं कर सकता। बहन सांसद कोन्याक, श्रीमती कोन्याक, उन्होंने जो कुछ कहा है, व्यथा से हम लोग भर जाते हैं। ये हो क्या रहा है? उनके साथ अशालीन, असभ्य, अमर्यादित व्यवहार किया गया।
अंबेडकर जी के स्टैचू से सारे एमपी शांति से पार्लियामेंट हाउस जा रहे थे। पार्लियामेंट हाउस के सीढ़ियों पे बीजेपी के एमपी लकड़ियां लिए हमारे सामने खड़े होते हैं, हमें अंदर नहीं जाने देते हैं, और उसके बाद अब ये थोड़ा सा अपना फिर से डिस्ट्रैक्शन करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। रियलिटी ये है, इन्होंने अंबेडकर जी का अपमान किया है, उसकी अपॉलॉजी होनी चाहिए और रिजाइन करना चाहिए होम मिनिस्टर को।
Anurag ji, you were also part of the delegation जो had gone to Parliament Street police station. Now Congress party is also alleging a similar sort of thing, that your MPs misbehaved, you blocked the way of Rahul Gandhi. What exactly is happening and what BJP is demanding as far as action is concerned?
I think it's very visible from the videos. Most of the media person were physically present during our agitation or protest during the morning hours outside the Makar Dwar in the parliament. It was a peaceful demonstration by the NDA MPs. It was Mr. Rahul Gandhi who came with his Indy Alliance MPs. When the security guards told them to take the designated path into the Parliament House, he refused to follow the instructions because they feel that the Gandhis are above the law. Laws are not made for the Congress party or the Gandhis. He purposefully went towards the NDA MPs who were standing on the Makar Dwar staircase and went ahead with his Indy Alliance MPs. He incited them and pushed the NDA MPs. Following that, Mukesh Rajput fell. He was hurt on the backside of his head. Mr. Pratap Sarangi is hurt badly. He has got many stitches on his forehead. Now, today's behavior against a woman tribal MP and against the fellow MPs from the Lok Sabha clearly showcased they have no respect for the democracy and for the member of parliament as well.
इतने समय से संसद में आ रहे हैं, जिस तरह के विटनेसेस देखे, आज जिस तरह के सीन्स देखे, आप उस पर क्या कहना चाहते हैं?
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो आज जो मकर द्वार पे घटना घटी उसकी मैं निंदा करता हूं, भर्त्सना भी करता हूं। ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए संसदीय प्रणाली में। ये मकर द्वार सांसदों के आने जाने की जगह है और कांग्रेस पार्टी और उनके साथी दल जब से शीतकालीन सत्र शुरू हुआ तब से लेकर के प्रदर्शन करते हैं। हमारे गृह मंत्री जी का राज्यसभा में एक भाषण हुआ, उसकी 12 सेकंड की एक क्लिप दिखा करके ये जो दुष्प्रचार कर रहे थे कल, उसके विरोध में हमारे बीजेपी के और एनडीए के सांसद साथी भी आज यहाँ प्रदर्शन करने के लिए आ गए। तो राहुल गांधी और उनकी टीम को लगा कि ये तो हमारी जागीर है, वो तो जागीरदार की मानसिकता से जीते हैं ना।
कांग्रेस ने स्पीकर को जाके कंप्लेन दी है, स्पीकर साहब को ये कहा है कि हमारे साथ दुष्व्यवहार हुआ है, हमारे लोगों को।
वो तो वीडियो देख रहे हैं, पता चल जाएगा। हमारे सांसद सारे आके कह रहे हैं कि राहुल गांधी जी ऐसे हाथ करते हुए आए और सुरक्षा कर्मियों ने कहा कि आपका रास्ता इधर से बना हुआ, आप इधर जाइए, उधर गए नहीं। इसका मतलब प्रदर्शन कौन कर रहा था? सारे प्रदर्शन राहुल गांधी जी कर रहे थे।
Well, this entire episode has brought into focus broader questions about the behavior of the elected representatives and the need for stricter enforcement of parliamentary ethics. Now, will this clash actually deepen the political divides, overshadowing the key